indecision to call you and hear your voice of treason.
All right, everyone. Well, welcome to this cast today. I am your casting host, Beef Pot Pie, whatever you want to call me. All that matters is these two teams that we have in front of us today. This is going to be Scrims, brought to you by Complexity Gaming, taking on today the guys from down under TT Esports themselves. So happy to be casting these games. So happy to have you all here with me. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It's going to be great. I don't know exactly how many games we're going to be getting into today. But yeah, this is going to be great no matter what. We are going here into the lockpick stage, so we're going to be able to take a look and see what exactly is going to be banned. If we see some of those standard bans, like your Silhouette, like your Wild Soul, if those ones are going to be coming out, maybe even see some of those, maybe a little bit more niche bans. If we see that Ophelia ban coming out, maybe the Respect ban for Chessie on a hero like that, we'll just have to see. But yeah, talking about these teams a little bit. If we get right on into it, we're going to probably be seeing Moon Meander playing something like one of those suicide players, whether we're looking at a 3-3-1, whether we're looking at something like a 2-1-2, we'll have to see. Already with the Magnus there, going into that locking pool, very, very standard. One of those heroes that B-Kid is very well known to play. So we'll see if that does come in. And there's the Ophelia, talked about it already with Chessie. I'm sure that everyone remembers from a month or so ago when Chessie was able to get that annihilation there on Ophelia. That's something that stuck in my head for quite a while, and Chessie very well known for playing all of those junglers. So we'll see if that does come out today. Definitely would expect that with the current metagame and the ability of both of these teams to push and really take it to their opponent, get that map control, get that early gold lead very fast. For anybody else that's just joining us right now, I'm Beef. I'm going to be casting these scrims today between Complexity and TT Esports, so thank you very much for joining me. Today is really just going to be a test stream. Not really going all out with it just yet. Just trying to get the kinks worked out and see if this is going to be a good fit. So thank you all very much. Hope that I do well today. Hope that these games are good, and hope that you guys are entertained, most importantly. But looking at this again, we already have 3 junglers actually here in this lockpick. So very, very cool that we do have all those, and all 3 of those junglers very big pushers. So it's definitely looking like we could be seeing a push strat coming out of one or both of these teams. So we'll have to see how the counter picks come out, if that push strat is indeed what's going to be there. See if we're going to be able to get any AoE nukers to really get in there and try to stop that nice early push. Forgive me while I take a look at one thing real quick. Just wanted to make sure that everything was in order on my end. So the lockpick now complete right there. We do have Magnus, Ophelia, Bubbles, Keeper of the Forest, Warbeast, and Fade all sat in there. So we'll get to see those picks come out a little bit later. And right now, the last of the bands going to be coming out. The blind bands, in fact, were, let's take a look back up here. We had Wild Soul and Wild Soul, both teams taking those out. Tempest and Tundra. So Tempest, of course, very, very strong pick in nearly any situation. And that Tempest definitely going to be, well, he's got the ability for that Elemental Void. The ultimate there, that is definitely what we want to talk about. But the ability of a Tempest to really get that GPM up nice and high early, and to be able to get that pushing pressure out there is something that neither of these teams wanted to deal with. In Wild Soul, of course, making his way into the metagame lately. Players being shown just how effective he is in so many different situations. He's effectively able to jungle, maybe go into that mock build that we've seen so frequently, sticking the mock onto the bear and really showing us how much pressure he's able to put on the team without even being there, allowing that bear to farm lanes and push lanes without being there, all the while Wild Soul just getting stronger and stronger, or even in that suicide role where he's able to use Boo Boo in much the same way that Keeper of the Forest might use his tree dogs to be able to pull the lane back into his favor and get more safe farm, safe gold. So Wild Soul, definitely a hero that does not want to come out right there. And yeah, we're getting into the banning phase right here. This is going to be the last set of bans coming out right now. So if we take a look back up, we did have Silhouette, Parasite, Dark Lady, Aluna, and Pebbles actually coming out as the ban. So we have one more coming out here in just a moment. So Pebbles, oh man, I would have loved to have seen a Pebbles. That hero brings so much action to the table. That real jump in, just gotcha potential, what one of my colleagues does there say. But yeah, just with that portal key, once he gets that, the ability to bring action into the game, really get the fight started, get the party started. Oh, that would have been fun. Dark Lady also being banned there. TT Esports, absolutely renowned for their ability to use that hero. Slicks at the previous DreamHack Summer going up against MSI in the finals. I believe they picked Dark Lady twice in that series, and before that series, they had not dropped a game all tournament using that Dark Lady, so definitely did not want to have that coming out as B-Kid throws down the respect ban for that. Aluna and Engineer, actually two heroes that are coming out a little bit lately as really strong support heroes, not always used in that role. Aluna, when she first hit the scene, we saw some players like Tralfamador using her in a very strong aggressive carry capacity, getting an early Nullstone, getting an early Hellflower, getting an early Frostwolf Skull, able to get in there and do a lot of work, but not in today's metagame, much more so relegated into that support position, but not going to see her today. But the first picks coming out now, Polywog Priest recently took a little bit of a nerf with the nerf to his Electric Jolt and the nerf of the collision size of the wards. So the ward trap that we've seen so many times come out of players like Fnatic, Raid Calls, No Tail. And that's not going to be happening nearly as often these days, as the ward trap is a bit easier to slip out of. You really have to place that picture perfect now to get that ward trap on. But whoever's going to be playing that for TT Esports probably going to be able to get that about every time. Haxerin right now, the carry player for Complexity, talking about B-Kid picking Rally. Now that would certainly be interesting. I don't even know if he's off of lock, but oh my god, we actually do have Rally coming out right now. Haxerin immediately rage quits the game, and it looks like we're going to be going into this game 4v5. Complexity already down a player, not due to technical difficulties, but due to B-Kid's drafting. Haxerin not exactly happy with that right now. GG's come out from both these players. It looks like we're not going on to the next game. A little bit of trolling going on from both sides right now, but I'm sure it's going to be worked out in the end as Complexity opts to take that Rally. So Rally, definitely one of the newest heroes to make its way into the game and into the competitive scene. I can't honestly say that I've seen him in a competitive game yet, so I'm really excited to see who's going to be playing him here and how exactly he's going to be played. First time that I saw Rally, I really kind of thought of him, like a lot of people did, as maybe a new Deadwood. Getting that that fourth skill on him, I don't even know what it's called at this point. Seismic Slam, that's what it is. That does so much damage at level 1, doing something like 600 damage in a cone as well. So kind of like a Deadwood ult right there. Just that real boom, just punch, you are gone. And with the ability of his minus armor attacks as well, he's able to put out a ton of damage. And even that push that he has, what is that, Compel? Yeah, Compel. With the ability to push and stun, so useful for offensive and defensive capacities there. But Ophelia coming out now from Moravius on the other side. So TT Esports not going to allow that to come out. And we are really just firing through the picks at this point. Already completed on Complexity's side is their lineup, so let's go over that really quickly. We do have Rally, Bubbles, Haxerin playing that Madman, Glacius, and Keeper of the Forest. So right now we have seen Keeper of the Forest a little bit on Moon lately, playing that in a suicide capacity with Moon on that Bubbles, most likely going to be going for something like a suicide, while Chessie on the Keeper of the Forest, definitely the jungle player here. Probably going to keep that Keeper in the forest and go for a nice early push with the Keeper of the Forest there. Rally on B-Kid. I am so excited to this. B-Kid has been one of my favorite players for such a long time, going back to when he was on Team EG, going back to even before that. But, oh man, I am so excited to see Rally being played by B-Kid. Most likely going to be mid, I would expect, as B-Kid does play mid quite often. So I'm guessing the lanes are going to be Haxerin and Franzi going to be going top over there for Complexity, along with Keeper of the Forest most likely. But we will see, probably going to be a tri-lane with the Suicide Bubbles. On the other side of the map, we do have Slicks. On the Wretched Hag over here, we have Watalba, aka White, and so I'll be referring to him as on the Ophelia. Riser playing that Witch Slayer, along with Moravius on the Magnus, and Leon Black picking it up in the end on that Polywog Priest. So definitely a strong lineup for both of these teams. Right now we do have a total of 6 heroes making their way into the top lane. Ophelia, Hag, and Magnus on one side versus the Glacius, the Madman, and the Rally on the other. Right now we do not actually have a whole lot of stuns going up here. Really only Magnus and the Compel coming out from Rally. Really the only 2 stuns. Flying Courier already making its way up there, so it's going to be able to get spotted and take a couple hits there from Glacius, and now choosing to go ahead and retreat, make its way back home safe and sound. Glacius already getting that ward up. Nice job by Francie to get that vision. Wants to be able to deny the other team's ability to get that ward up in their jungle. But right now we actually do have Keeper of the Forest and Bubbles both kind of sitting there in bottom lane right now. The Tree Dogs, this is something that we saw from Moon Meander a little bit whenever he plays this hero, now being played by Chessie, making his way down there, summoning the Tree Dogs. He's going to be able to get a decent scout with these Tree Dogs, and he might even be able to get a little bit of a pull going on, but Tree making his way back into town right now. And so now we do have Glacius and Rally making their way mid. So it's looking like it's going to be a dual lane mid right here against Riser. So it's definitely going to be a very rough time here from the TTE player to deal with this. Glacius is going to be able to get a lot of harassment in, and Rally on B-Kid there going to be able to get pretty good farm against this Witch Slayer. But right now, Madman on being played by Haxerin, going to have a very rough time against this offensive Ophelia, the Magnus, and the Hag up here. So these lanes definitely did not necessarily play out the way that you would think that they would, but we'll get into that momentarily. We do have Rally already getting off to a nice start over here, getting a couple last hits against Riser. And in the top lane, I would think that they're probably going to make a rotation here. Haxerin definitely does play that hard carry role. He's known to play some others, but he's going to want to be getting a ton of farm. And this is not a lane where Haxerin on this Madman is going to be able to get a lot of farm. So we'll see how the reaction does come out over here. Already a ton of pressure coming out from this Glacius and from this Witch Slayer on each other. But Rally with that shield at level 1 is going to be able to take a ton of harassment from the Witch Slayer without really needing to back off. And B-Kid already off to a fantastic start right now, 6-3. Keeper of the Forest actually playing offensive jungle right now. And this is a little bit different because Keeper of the Forest doesn't really have any gank potential. Not a whole lot of gank potential up until level 6, until he's able to get that root. So Polywog Priest is actually going to be in a pretty good position over here against Bubbles, but Moon Meander on that Bubbles is definitely going to do his best to get as much farm and levels as possible. But there's not going to be a whole lot of potential for killing that Polywog Priest. So coL is right now really going to be looking to farm up that middle lane, get as many levels as they can on this Madman up top, which he's doing a fantastic job right now. For being a 1v3, for being a suicide lane, Madman being played by Haxerin doing an absolutely fantastic job. Already level 3 right there. So I would say he's definitely doing all the work that he can up there. Glacius is going to go ahead and try to deter that Ophelia from getting that rune, but not going to happen right there. Did put out a little bit more pressure, but B-Kid continuing to get his farm up, already at 12-5 right here. Madman going to come over and put a little bit of pressure onto this Ophelia. Ophelia with the Vagabond leader, not going to be able to really defend herself too adeptly. The Madman going to come in and put a couple more auto attacks in right here, but with that Vagabond leader also he's going to be able to actually do a ton of damage, and Ophelia going to be forced to pop the potion. The stun comes in from Magnus, and the Vagabond leader with the nuke. The Madman is going to fall. Haxerin got really greedy there, tried to get super aggressive on that Ophelia, and Moravius on that Magnus was in the right place at the right time, taking out the carry for the First Blood, and the First Blood going to that Ophelia, definitely going to be able to get some things that she needs, going to be able to get wards and counter wards, and really get her farm going so that she's going to be able to effectively gank and push throughout this game. Madman comes in and cancels that mana potion once again, and Haxerin going to try to put a little bit more pressure, but already the Wretched Hag and the Magnus on their way over, and Haxerin forced to back off. Still level 3 right now. We talked about that about a minute and a half ago, that he was already level 3, but in the bottom lane, the Glacius with the Hasten coming in from bottom. The huge block there from Chessie, using some absolutely brilliant micro there from those animated trees, and actually blocking the path from Leon Black, not quite able to get back from that gank setup by Keeper of the Forest, Bubbles, and Glacius. So great job there from the Hellborn team, evening the kill score back up to 1-1. And this is what I was talking about, the ability of that Keeper of the Forest to really push so early. Already with 3 tree dogs, he's going to use this other tree over here to go ahead and pull those creeps back. But Madman in the top lane, not in a great position. They know that there's an Ophelia in the jungle right now, so the Madman actually going to come over here, and they're going to try to put some pressure onto this Ophelia. The Skeleton King able to put that lockdown onto Rally, not able to close the distance fast enough to get that compel stun off and really get that kill. But right now the Ophelia does get caught right there by the flank. The Glacius TPing in even, and the Magnus right now with boots looks like he might be able to escape, but there's a big deep dive right now going on by the TTE's players. They are deep in enemy territory and not quite able to get any other kills right there, not quite able to save their Ophelia player either. But this has bought a lot of time for Riser in that middle lane to make up the ground that he really lost in that dual lane. Now all the way back up to 10-1, almost at that level 6. So he might be able to get that silver bullet relatively soon here. But already our Rally player at 19-10 has great farm to start off, but he's had to do a little bit of movement as well. And he's only level 4. And you really want that level 6 as well there on Rally. So we'll see if he's able to get that relatively soon. Bubbles down here. Going to be putting a little bit of a shell surf, try to harass and grab that last hit there from Polywog Priest. And I think I just heard a mana ring already. Yeah, mana ring on Keeper of the Forest now. So he has gotten that up nice and early. Bubbles was able to get the mana from that as well. And we do have the animated trees coming in, looking like they might go for a secondary tower push already down here in the bottom lane, which is exactly what you need to do. In the middle lane, though, Glacius and Rally trying to put the pressure onto Witchslayer. Witchslayer was able to get the potion off, though, in time. A brilliant job there from Riser. Ophelia looking like she might be the target of choice next, but not quite. The Hellborn team not able to effectively get them in that fog. But Riser being forced out of the lane, he's going to take a trip home now. And the push actually looking like it might come here in middle lane instead of that bottom lane, although Moon Meander is very, very pushed up, getting desperately close to that level 6 and that oh so valuable kelp field though. Polywog Priest down here, level 6 of his own, and he's definitely going to be wanting to ward drop if he can, but Bubbles with the ability to escape relatively easily. He's not going to be a good target for that ward drop. You want to get that on somebody like your Glacius. You want to get that on maybe even Rally. Although Rally with that compel, I think I actually like that quite a bit now that I think about it. Seeing that Polywog Priest first pick right there, getting the Rally immediately afterward, it's like a free push stick, which is already one of the counters to Polywog Priest to get out of that ward trap. So that compel definitely going to be very useful there. Wretched Hag farming very well, as Slicks often does. Magma's going to be going in for a little bit of a stun there, but not quite. Ophelia in the middle lane, though, being caught out by this Rally. The Rally with that Seismic Slam is able to get that down, pops the Haste Rune, and he jets on out of there. On the other side, though, Slicks trying to go in for the kill here onto this Glacius, and actually Rally's going to turn it around as Slicks overextends, taking a little bit too much pressure there from the tower, and the hasted Rally comes in for the compel stun, and the Glacius nuke to finish him off. Nice job there in the middle lane. Complexity off to a bit of an early lead right here. If we actually take a look, already at a 1.7k gold lead and 1.2k experience lead, so only 7 minutes into this game, 1 in 4 hero kills, looking very good, though I'm still concerned about this Madman up here being played by Haxerin. He's gotten a little bit of gold from being able to stalk in and get some kills like we see right there. He's gotten a little bit of gold from that early tower push bottom, but he's definitely not where he wants to be. Sitting at only 1 in 10 right now, that is not where you normally see Haxerin. You see him on some of his signature heroes. You see him on a Silhouette sitting there at 350, 400 GPM at this point, and right now that is definitely not where he is. 179 GPM only. Oh man. Take a look at some items here. Slick sitting on those steam boots for the time being. Oh, well, no time to look at items right now, as the Hex is going to come in and the ward trap onto Rally right there, but Bubble's going to come in. The kelp field does go down. There's no level 6 here on Hag, though, so not going to be able to get that ult for the time being. We did have the Magnus fall in the top lane while all this did go on, although Polywog Priest also dead. Hag going to be able to get the kill there onto that Glacius, and Moon Meander is able to get the finishing blows there onto the Wretched Hag as well, although Bubbles is now trapped down here. Going to try to eat his way through a couple of trees, but he has no trees left. We do have that Cyclone going to be coming in from the Vulture Lord, and Moon Meander caught out. Riser gets the last hit on that one, but at the same time, the top lane being pushed in here by Haxorn and Chessie. It looked like the root, yeah, the root was actually used to get that kill up there on the Magnus, and now the TP's in. The Hex goes down, but the tower does fall as well, so they're going to trade the kill on the tree for the tower. It's questionable. That's probably relatively an even trade. The tree not the most important hero, so it's not a huge deal if it falls, but definitely you want to get that kill if that tower is going to fall anyway. So nice job from TT Esports to allow that one to come out. We now have a pretty big push coming down here with Ophelia and TTE in the bottom lane, but the Australians have actually done a pretty good job of equalizing this kill score right now. 5-7. They've evened up the gold and the experience advantage just a little bit, but Haxorn was actually able to finish his steam boots and even get his coat on. He says it's a little bit of chilly up here, and there's quite a bit of magic damage on the other team. So I definitely would think we will likely be seeing a lot of Mystic Vestments coming out of most of these players here. Magnus going to make his way up right now. Is going to be spotted out by this Keeper of the Forest. Team Bath goes down. Both the players choosing to invis themselves as they say, hey, I do not want any part of that for right now. Madman and that Keeper going to go ahead and try to make their way into the forest though, and the Magnus is spotted out. Root's going to be up in just 1 second here, so Keeper could be looking for a nice ult here, but as the do see the Hag right here, they might be in a little bit of trouble themselves. The Magnus looking for that stun, but it's simply not going to happen right there. There's a nice stun, able to get the Keeper of the Forest, but not able to quite get that Madman as Slicks is trying to retreat, trying to cover his buddy, but did not quite happen. In the bottom lane, or well, we actually had Leon Black actually killing Glacius, so that must have been somewhere in this area. I'm sorry that we did miss that there. And in the middle, Ophelia and Witchslayer are able to team up on B-Kid, get the kill on that rally. So very nice job there, setting B-Kid back just a little bit further. And with that, there's actually a little bit of a gold lead now for our Legion team. So very nice job. The tower does fall there. That's going to be the first tower for the Legion team. So great job. So that's gold and experience lead now, excuse me, for TT Esports. So they're doing a very good job of making sure to keep up in this game. Ophelia doing a lot of work, being involved in quite a few kills here. And let's take a look at GPMs now. We do have Witchslayer. The Witchslayer that was 2v1 in the middle lane is actually the highest farmer in the game now. So Riser showing us he has really got what it takes to be able to not only not die in that 2v1 lane, but then turn it around, make his involvement in kills really be apparent. He's now at 3-0-0 with 32-4 CS, so nice job there. Oh, both these teams really playing fantastically at this point. You can see here at 11 minutes into the game, we are almost completely even, pretty much zero change. And we do have in the top lane, we have the Graveyard going to be coming out on top of the Eruption there for Madman, the Hex to follow up. And that is a kill on Haxorn. That is Haxorn's second death there. So he's not exactly where he wants to be. That is for sure. Magnus going to go ahead and Mana Pot up after that one. And no silver bullet even needed right there from Witchslayer. They knew that they had the ability to get that as soon as the Lava Surge came out of Magnus. They got the Lava Surge into the Graveyard, into the Hex, while the Eruption was channeling there. So very nice job indeed. In the middle lane though, looks like Complexity is gearing up to go ahead and get that push started. And with that, they're going to be able to probably take maybe even 2 towers if they try to really press that advantage. But we'll see. The Tree Dogs starting their work here at this middle tower. The middle tower very high on life for being a 2v1 lane. Graveyard Stun is going to be able to catch Keeper of the Forest being played by Chessie out there. Lava Surge to follow up and the Electric Jolt, but the Compel tries to push him back. Not going to happen. Silver Bullet puts an end to that tree's life, as he is going to fall. A 2-for-0 fight right there in the bottom lane. Wretched Hag and Bubbles trying to do their dance right here. Slicks looking like he might want to try to get something happening here, and he does go in, but Slicks is actually going to get turned around on here a little bit, but the Ophelia's touch does come out there from Ophelia. Going to be able to keep Slicks alive long enough for Moon Meander to go ahead and teleport out of there. So nothing happening. Both players going to be they're going to head back to town, although Slicks is going to get a little bit of farm before he chooses to head back. On the other side of the map though, Witchslayer looking like he wants to be able to put a little bit of counter pressure out. And yeah, he's actually going to go ahead and choose to retreat for right now, but this has left Madman up here in the top lane to be able to free farm this lane. He's really starting to get his farm back up a little bit, already back up to 250 GPM. If you take a look at this tab again, actually Madman over here at 360. No, that's experience per minute, excuse me. Yeah, I was pressing the wrong button there. Sorry, I'm a little bit flustered right there for just one moment. Promise you it'll be getting better. But with that GPM there, it actually looks like Polywog is the highest here on the team at 315. Madman and Keeper the Forest right about tied there at 250, while B-Kid takes the front here at just under 300. So Complexity definitely a little bit lower than you would expect them to be with this team setup. With that dual mid, you would really want that rally to be a lot higher. He's already got that what is that called, a Beast Heart out right now on that rally, so he's going to be looking for that Vanguard, get that tanky presence going in there, be that guy that's able to stand in the front, take the aggression from the enemy team, and then allow the other team to really either engage on him or set up favorable engagements for his own team. Moonmeander down here trying to hide, does not want to be scouted, so we'll be real quiet right now as he does not want to get found out. He's trying to get in there, doing a very nice job of dancing back and forth to get the experience from each one of those last hits as they did go down. So excellent job there by Moon, but right now Slicks does go ahead and spot him out. We'll see if he tries to engage. He does have backup in the form of Witch Slayer way back there. We already see a portal key coming out on Polywog Priest, so he's now Portal Wog Priest, but Moonmeander being surrounded right there. Portal key on Witch Slayer. The Hex comes in. The Graveyard's done to follow. And the Sonar Scream from Hag to clean it all up. They're going to be able to now put pressure on this bottom tower as Rally does finish his Vanguard, it looked like right there. And we do actually have that push coming now. Ophelia's minion's going to be joining in. A couple of Vulture Lords probably going to start sieging up this tower. But in the middle lane, we do have a push coming out now as well, as both these teams looking like they're going to want to trade towers, although there's also another gank being set up here. They're looking for that Madman. The portal key there on Polywog Priest. He's looking for it, but it's not going to happen just yet. In the middle lane, that tower falls as well. But the Legion team going for two right now. We do see the Madman coming out right there, trying to get a stock in, trying to get something happening over there, but not quite. Defensive tower in the bottom lane, looking like it's going to take a fall. The fortification is used right there, and it is going to be within deny range in just a moment. So they're going to get the deny on that. Nicely played from the Hellborn. They're going to lose that tower. They're going to lose the map control that it affords and the ability to teleport to it. But they're at least not going to be able to. They're going to be able to deny that gold. In the top lane, though, another tower going to be falling for the Hellborn side. So Hellborn actually lost 3 towers right there, only taking that mid tower in exchange. So right now we do actually have a little bit of momentum right here for the TT Esports guys, although we do have a triple stack being cleaned up right now for the Hellborn side, so they're going to like the amount of gold that comes out of that. Taking a look once again at some items here, we do actually have Wretched Hag with that Ogre Axe right now, so she might be looking for maybe an early BKB, or excuse me, an early Shrunken Head. Certainly a possibility. Ophelia definitely getting the ward situation taken care of with a mana ring and an astrolabe as well, so she is doing very well at 322 gold per minute. Portal key, as we've seen on both Witch Slayer and Polywog Priest, so they've definitely got their initiation for the time being. Magnus getting relatively close to his as well, sitting at 1400 gold. Vanguard already finished there on that rally, so he's definitely going to be a little bit tanky. He's got that coat on as well with that magic armor, and we do see that Bubbles is actually probably looking for a portal key of his own, sitting at 750. Middle lane, we have an invisible Polywog Priest going to come out with a ward trap onto that rally, but Rally's so tanky. Magnus going to come in, tries to get that eruption off, not quite able to. Moonmeander takes a fall right there. Portal key there on Chessie, is able to get that root off, but not a whole lot of follow-up. Has to Nature's Veil to get himself on out of there, and so far the only person to fall is Moonmeander, but the Hex comes in right there from Witch Slayer as Madman starts to go to work over here on the other side. He's able to stalk on out of there and get himself safely home, but right now a 1-for-1 exchange is that Magnus and that Bubbles are already both down. Both teams going to go ahead and let each other go for the time being. Rally wants to be able to get back in here, but the rest of the Hellborn team is already sitting at home trying to get their regen out. The Ophelia minions are going to be coming in right here on this defensive tower, and they are taking a lot of damage to this tower. The tower is indeed going to fall. So only one remaining outer tower left right now for the Hellborn team. The push strategy coming out from this keeper has not been too successful at getting past those tier 1 towers. Right now we do have the TT Esports team actually in a pretty comfortable lead right now, sitting with that roughly 7,000 gold and 5,000 experience advantage. Definitely in a good position right there. A nice blink in and hex and a snipe from the illusion rune right there by Witchslayer. So an excellent job there. And Slick's already finishing up that shrunken head. So he's got that now. He's going to be able to deal with that rally push. He's going to be able to deal with that kelp field. He's going to be able to deal with slows and everything else. And most importantly, he's going to be able to use that to break out of the root from Keeper of the Forest. So when that Keeper does use that blink dagger, it comes in, gets the initiation with the root. We're going to see that shrunken head pumped immediately there by Slicks to be able to allow himself to get that mobility again and be able to auto attack during the duration of the root. So a nice pickup there from Slicks. A couple more other items that have been finished up. We do see the Sustainer on the Madman, so we could be looking at a Nullstone, or we could be looking at a Rune Cleaver throughout this game. So we'll see either one of those, but Haxorn definitely been affected by his role as the 1v3 suicide over there. Definitely a little bit lower on his farm than he would ever want to be. At 289, he's definitely behind in the situation, but both teams right now content to really sit back and farm. Everybody looking like they just want to stack right now. Haxorn's going to go ahead and start working on this Catman double stack now. With the assistance of the tree coming in, he's going to get another stack going on over here. And even going to go ahead and meet up, but Illusion's over here in the bottom at the Hellborn Ancients. Rally was like, oh, no, you're not coming in here. No free scouting information for you. Right now, both teams just really going to sit back and farm. Oh, man. Been talking for a while. Excuse me for just 1 second while I get a drink of water. What does Breaky always say? You got to stay hydrated. Bubbles now picking up that portal key over there, so Bubbles definitely going to be able to join Tree and getting that nice early initiation for the Hellborn team. That's really what they need. They need to be able to get a nice jump and not allow the Legion team to get their portal keys. Portal key now finished on Magnus as well, bringing the total number of portal keys in this game all the way up to 5. So there's going to be a lot of very quick action coming in here. Another stack going on here at the Ancients as both of these teams really looking to keep their farm going. In the top lane, though, there is actually a lot of people sitting here. They want to be able to make their way into the jungle. That Witchslayer has his level 12. He's got that silver bullet up. Magnus with that portal key. They want to be able to catch somebody. They're looking for somebody like that Rally. They're looking for somebody like that Madman. That could be a nice, easy pick. Nobody that's going to be able to get out of there real easily. But on the other side, we have a Kongor coming out now for Complexity. Chessie leading the charge there with that Keeper of the Forest, getting those tree minions in there. And right now we have no vision for our Legion team. Not going to be able to scout this out just yet. The Nature's Veil going to come out and provide a little bit of armor and regeneration as the Madman starts hacking away right there. He has his ult actually activated for that increased movement speed, so it looks like the Legion team, whether they are aware of the Kongor or not, they're going to choose to go ahead and eliminate this last remaining outer tower. And that's going to be their trade right here, and it's going to be a relatively even trade. The Franken Kongor, whatever you want to call him, the token's going to go to Madman here, so they want to be able to keep that Madman alive, make sure that he does not die for nothing, and he's not really going to contribute a ton to these team fights at this point with his low amount of farm. They want him to not be dead so he can keep that farm going to that late game. But the ward drop's already here. Ophelia minions, the only ones remaining, starting to work on this tower. Tower already at about 3rd life, but the blink in from Moon Meander on that Bubbles. The kelp field comes out, only catching one hero. Moon Meander actually taken out so fast there by the Magnus, which did come in as well. The root from Keeper of the Forest immediately has Shrunken Head off by Wretched Hag there. The Glacius taken out by Slicks in the backfield right there. But with the Hellborn team, a lot of them down. We have 2 down already. Madman, Keeper of the Forest with no ult, and Rally. They are not going to be able to stop this push. The melee barracks is the first to fall. The second one, the ranged racks, definitely in danger now. Glacius and Bubbles are not going to be up in time for this, and we'll see if TT Esports looks like they're going to go ahead and retreat. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and retreat, say we're not going to press our luck right here. We don't want to take any losses. We didn't lose any. Oh, well, never mind. They're coming back in. They fooled the Hellborn team as well as the Madman is going to take a lot of pressure right here. The Hex going to come out. The Electric Jolt to finish him off. The Magnus is going to take a lot of counter pressure right now. The Stock going to come out, but the Lava Surge away is going to be able to save the Magnus for the time being. The Ophelia actually going to go ahead and send him home. The Aegis has been wasted here, and the Madman is back up for the time being, but right now the initiation from the Hellborn team, the Rally actually going to come in with his own portal key right here, going to be able to pick off this Ophelia and maybe even get a minion or two as well. But we do see that that is the 6th portal key being added into this game. Rally now being extremely mobile with those Ghost Marchers, with that portal key, and with that Compel ability there on his Q. It's an integrated push stick. He is so mobile, able to chase down everything. But we saw there, once the Hellborn team was back alive, they really didn't have those initiation tools that they needed. They had the portal keys on their bubbles, they have the portal keys on their Keeper of the Forest, but they didn't have the ults, they didn't have the kelp field, they didn't have the root that they needed to really make those follow up. Magnus down here with the double damage wants to go ahead and get that out of there before somebody important can come along and grab that and do lots of damage to those Ancients or something like that. Moon Meander definitely not having an incredible game right now. Not going to be one of his 500 GPM games. And he's actually going to be down here trying to do a little bit of damage to this Hag possibly, but little does he know the Magnus and the Polywog Priest are both over here as well. We'll see if Moon does go ahead and try to jump this Hag, but Hag with the Hellflower almost completed here and that Shrunken Head. They're actually going to go ahead and spot Moon Meander right there. Some killer instincts by Hag. I don't know how they saw him there, but Polywog is actually going to be able to come in there, help out with the Electric Jolt and the Hex, and Bubbles going to take the fall right there. And with that Bubbles down, definitely going to be seeing a counter push coming out of the Legion team right now. We see Ophelia making her way over. We see Wretched Hag already sitting over there looking like they want to steal some of these Ancients, but the Hellborn team in a little bit of an area where they might want to do some counter initiation, but nothing for right now. They want to press their advantage with that Bubbles down. That means no kelp field, that means no silence, that means their initiation is only half as strong as it would be otherwise. So TTE definitely going to take this advantage, and they're going to take it to the tower right here as the pressure starts to come in. The creep wave already eliminated. The tree dogs over here going to provide a little bit of a distraction, but the ward drop is down. The Ophelia minions starting to do their work as well. The tree sitting off here over to the side wants to be able to get that initiation in, but in comes the Rally. The tree going to follow up as well, but the Hag going ahead and Shrunken Head. The Moon Meander going to come in. He's going to be able to land that kelp field as well. Glacier Assault going to go down, but not going to happen. Wretched Hag with that Bat Blast going to be able to get a lot of people. Tongue Tie on the Rally there. Magnus trying to channel that eruption, but not going to happen for the time being. The tree going to fall as well, and up here we do have the Moon Meander being caught out on the bubbles once again. That is 4 players down. B-Kid did go ahead and get back into the fight. He's going to come in with another Compel, a huge seismic slam to catch 3 people, but not going to happen. GG comes out from Complexity, and TT Esports is going to take this game. It is over. Very well played to both of these teams, but an excellent job, just a little bit better execution there by TT Esports, and a beautiful game in general. I loved being able to see that Rally. That was so cool. The Ophelia in the Polywog, though, just making such an effective team at pushing those towers consistently throughout that game, getting those catches, excuse me, the players being caught out by the blink hexes of the Polywog and of the Witch Slayer. So nice job there by TT Esports. I don't know if we're going to be going into a second game or not, but I'll be back with you momentarily. I've been your casting host, Beef. This has been a Complexity Scrimcast, the first of what I hope to be many. So thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go check out and see if we've got another game. Stick right here, and we'll be right back with you.